Good morning everyone and welcome to the first vlog of 2022. It's February, the sun's shining, I'm in a t-shirt, having a sausage sandwich. I do like brown sauce, other than that it's all red. And the last one that's been stocked today. But before we go home, we're going to sit down, have a cup of tea with Mark, and he's just going to give us a few more details about exactly what iCarp has to offer. Yeah. Morning everyone and welcome to another vlog. Now, I've had lots of questions saying when's the vlog going to be back, and I'm sorry, we would like to be able to do more and more of these, but it's physically not possible. But we're here now, and we're here at the Norton Disney Guest House. I'm up here with the family, having a few days up here while a few bits are going on at home, obviously doing a bit of fishing, but it's the perfect opportunity to have a little catch up about exactly what my fishing has been since Christmas. So first up for the year, we took a little trip to Churchgate Fisheries in Essex. Good morning everyone and welcome to the first vlog of 2022. You find me at Churchgate Fisheries in Essex and the target is simple: become a winter hero. Come on. Swim choice has been sort of made for me in that I'm in one of the only swims that hasn't got ice on it. But I mentioned being a winter hero, so what is that? Well, officially, if you enter the competition via the Korda website, it's a chance to win prizes from Korda, from Delkim, from Mainline. But for me, I'm here for something just a little bit more prestigious than all of that. Wish me luck. Now, the ice, as you can see, is really, really thin, and with the weather getting up to a glorious 6 degrees today, the more of it I can break up now, the more chance it's got of properly melting during the day. So just dragging it in, so if I do get a bite, at least I can land it safely. It's always good to have a few options. I don't know why I didn't just turn that off. It's always good to have a few different options, rules permitting. Now, because natural baits are allowed on here, I've got a couple of options on that front. I've got some maggots with me, I've got some caster, I've got some worms to sort of tip a little zig off with, and I'm also, as always, using a bit of mainline cell, mainly in crumb form. It's going to go in my solid bags, and if I'm honest, the dream is I catch on solid bags full of crumb, because I'm allergic to maggots. Now, you're all laughing, it ain't funny. I've already taken antihistamines. You are going to see, if maggots is the only thing that gets a bite, you're going to see a grown man crying by the end of the trip. But if it works, doesn't it? Unlike my blender. Can't believe not all swims haven't got electricity. Absolute godsend. Now, whilst I am attached to Banana Man, I've had this cup a lot of years. What I'm here to try and win from the Winter Hero competition is the latest mug. You can't beat a mug on the bank, and if it's got that Winter Hero 21, 22 on it, I'll be very happy. Now, to try and win it, I've sort of varied my tactics a little bit. It's not the biggest of lakes. This particular one on the site has got something like 160 carp in. I'm confident something's going to happen, hopefully sooner rather than later. something like this, you think you're eating healthy. So I've got carrot, cucumber, bit of pasta, lettuce and chicken. But there must be half a tub of mayonnaise, I'd say. So any good I'm doing is just being outweighed by pure fat. Nice though. The day flew by, but we stayed up well into darkness talking of old success stories. It's going high, it's like 100 yards, I think it's going to be close. This lead landed with a click right next to the edge of the island. I'm like, oh my God, that is the one. So I've laid it down, set the bobbin, like, Jimmy, you go. Sat there like hour, 2, 3, 4 hours went by, nothing. And just before it got dark, I think you could fish till 7, and it was getting dark about 5:30. I thought I need to redo that rod. Just picked it up in the tree, wasn't it? 5 hours, my rig was in the tree, and the plop was my lead, so it was on a lead clip. As I've hit the tree, the lead's come out and landed perfectly. 5 hours I fished. As you can see, the trip didn't really go to plan, with nothing happening whilst Lewis was filming, but lo and behold, once he'd gone, I did manage to catch a few, so at least managed to tick January off the list, because I do like to try and catch a carp every month of the year. Now, after that trip, fishing definitely took a bit of a downturn because, for a very good reason, me and the family were moving house, so full steam ahead with doing that. So the next time I managed to get out was just around about the middle of February. This time something a little bit different. We headed down to Lifted Lakes, which is the home of the iCarp charity. We're down at Lifted Lakes in Great Oakley, Essex, which is the iCarp charity's waters, and we are here on behalf of Embryo to stock some carp. Birthday from the lads in the sales office. Last one was £9.8, wasn't it? Yeah. Scales are broke. Well, this is one of 15 fish that are being stocked into the lakes today. On top of the fish going in, we've also fenced the whole site. That's 1,100 metres of fencing, all part of a very good cause. And we hope that this donation from Embryo will help continue iCarp's incredible work.
That's not far off, is it?
There we go, we saved the best till last, £14.5, and the last one that's being stocked today. But before we go home, we're going to sit down, have a cup of tea with Mark, and he's just going to give us a few more details about exactly what iCarp has to offer. Well, mate, we've got some nice new carp swimming around in your lakes now.
Yeah, thank you for that. They're lovely. Really appreciate it. Yeah,
it's the first carp I've ever stocked into a lake.
I can't
Never
believe.
done it before.
I can't believe that.
I feel quite honoured, to be honest.
I can't believe that I'm up above you on something. I've done so many carp in this
Mate,
lake.
you're up above me on a lot of things. I just get to go fishing. But while we're here and while we're getting to sit down, can you just tell us a little bit about iCarp? I mean,
Sure.
Starting with, how did it come about?
The honest answer, if I'm completely truthful, we were having a pint at Christmas, myself and Dr. Cooper, and we'd been saying that we'd been having a really rough year, it'd been really challenging for different reasons. I said, yeah, I need to get on the bank and get my head straight.
Yep.
And Nick said, it's funny because I go fishing, I do the same. And it was really a casual conversation like that, but then we met again in the spring and we were saying, you know what, we really should look into that. And we're both at Essex University at the time. And Essex University has got a real history in green, what they call green exercise, so being outdoors and the benefits of being outdoors.
Right.
So we thought, okay, we linked in with some people there and we started looking into it. And I ran some pilot studies. I looked into archery, horse riding, falconry, different things like that.
Yeah, anything that was outside.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And even walking, just walking. But the angling, they all worked, but the angling worked to a stronger level and also held for longer. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. We've got something here. And we decided to do some what we call pilot studies. So they're small little trips. We did some pilot studies. And when we ran the results, we looked at the results and went, oh, I've done that wrong. Must have, that can't be right. We have to rerun that. And we ran them again. And they were so powerful, such a good result. We said, this is incredible. We really need to look into this. So I spent 3 years doing extra research. We did what's called a random control trial, where we take 2 different groups. And I'll go too into depth with it. But the long and short of it is that we can get some fantastic results by taking people fishing equal or sometimes even better than giving them sort of psychometric drugs or therapy. And also, we can treat more people in one go. So if we take a group of people...
Yeah, so essentially that's where these lakes have been born from then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than relying on perhaps other waters to do it, you've now got your own fishery that you can bring people to.
Absolutely. I mean, we were beg, borrowing and stealing.
Yeah.
And going around, and as you guys well know, Danny and Korda have been fabulous. I mean, from day one, he's been so supportive, and they've been giving us tackle and helping out in many different ways, tackle and bait and all sorts. And we were, as I say, borrowing people's lakes and using them. Then COVID came along, and these, everyone's got to make a living, and they weren't able to make a living themselves. All of a sudden, to give us a lake free wasn't an option.
Of course.
We're a not-for-profit. We don't have any money.
No.
So we're going, okay, how are we going to do this? Again, it's a bit of a long story, but to condense it, these lakes have been sitting dormant for 7 or 8 years, not being used. And I managed to negotiate a fabulous deal with the landowner's an amazing guy.
Brilliant.
And a year later, 2,500 hours of volunteers, of military veterans and policemen and firemen coming down here and cutting trees down and building swims. We are where we are. And then we got to an awful point where we realised that we were being hit by predators. We've got otters on here.
Right.
No fish. Spoke to Danny, spoke to Embryo, and as you well know...
Yeah, as we mentioned, I mean, you've got, I think it was, I couldn't quite believe the size, but 1,100 metres of fencing.
I know, it's incredible.
That's a lot of fence.
I think I'm right in saying it's the biggest one you guys have done.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
It must be. But the thing is, not just what you're doing here, but if you don't protect fisheries, ultimately, predation is the biggest threat. And without a fence, as you've already found out, you very quickly have nothing to fish for.
Well, we had pretty much nothing. They've been... they're in the middle of nowhere, as you can see. They're on farmland, so not only were they sort of predators, but I think they were poached as well from the fish that were here. But that was heartbreaking. And then we wanted to stock, but we couldn't stock without the fence. So without you guys doing that, we were lost.
And then here we are today. Like you say, you've got the fence. I know you've already got some other fish, but there's now fresh 15 embryo babies swimming around in a couple
nice
of
ones
waters.
too.
Yeah, they were lovely.
Yeah, really nice.
Who's the fishing aimed at? Who benefits from iCarp?
Originally, my research was into military veterans because my background's working in the NHS.
Yeah.
And I've always been a trauma therapist.
Okay.
And because I live in Colchester.
Yeah.
Garrison town.
Yeah, of course.
Lots of military veterans. So my interest was with military veterans. We worked predominantly with them. Now we've broadened it out. So now we'll work with 999 or blue light services.
Yeah.
We're also doing NHS staff lots of those guys and girls have been traumatised through COVID and watching people die. So, the tragedy that's been the last couple of years, so we're working with them. People with early onset dementia, we're starting to do some work in that field this year. And we're also going to be doing some work with children with long-term conditions and terminal illness. So,
wow. So lots of people that can...
There'll be a lot of people benefiting, yeah.
Good, it's lovely. It's something that I'm certainly proud to do anything I can to help out with, and
amazing.
I'm glad to see it all coming into shape for you.
Brilliant.
I'm led to believe though, this lake over here might be able to get a bite out of.
I reckon you might. Are you any good?
Prove it, won't we?
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
just like that, we're fishing. I don't really know what to expect, even if we don't catch anything. It's February, the sun's shining, I'm in a t-shirt. Cheers. I really enjoyed that day out. No, I didn't catch anything when I tried to have a little go, but they're the first carp I've ever stocked into a lake, and for such a great cause, it's just nice to play a very small part in it. And that brings you totally up to date. But like I said, we're at the Norton Disney House. I did have a few hours on the bank yesterday and managed to catch a couple, so I'm going to finish this coffee, get back out, see if we can get a couple more bites. Cheers. Now, the last couple of trips I've been doing very similar to what I'm doing now, changing the tactics and trying typical things that I do in the winter. So I've got a spinner on one rod, I've got a solid bag on the other, and this one that's done the bite is on a little 5-foot zig, just a little bit of black foam that's soaked in, it's soaked in isotonic goo, so it's got that bit of boost out there as well. But I've also painted a little bit of a new test goo over the top as well. I don't know if any of that has helped loads or not, I'm not going to lie, but it certainly hasn't done any harm, and that's the main thing. Not been here long, only got the rods out this morning. Good. Yes. Lovely start to the day. Okay, 16.25. We are off the mark. There we go, a lovely start. Didn't expect any action quite this quickly, but a zig in the right area, and that's all it takes. 16.25 of very cold mirror carp. Nice. Mwah. Thank you, mate. Go, 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 go. We'll block you. Leave it. Many moons ago, just before I started work at Korda, I went fishing with Damien Clark, and he looked in my bivvy and it was such a mess that he christened me Harry Spodder and the Bivvy of Doom. And now I look around now, I'm proud to say nothing has changed. I don't know where anything is. I lost my tackle box yesterday, I've only just found it. Does the job, doesn't it? Have a little cook up, shall we? What you bought us, Lou?
Got the old bacon and eggs, Neil.
6 bluebell Araucana eggs. These look a bit lordy, Lou. Bacon medallions, bit of fry light. All right, I'm just going to chuck it all in the old pan. I'll do 4 at a time. How many is there? 10.
Red or brown?
Depends what it's in and on. I like ketchup for most things, but I've got a bit of a favour. If I'm having a sausage sandwich, I do like brown sauce. Other than that, it's all red. Ketchup all the way. But at least we've got both options. Do you know what HP stands for on HP sauce?
No.
House of Parliament. Okay. Bit useful information that not a lot of people know.
Every day's school day, innit?
Every day's a school day. colour of them shocks me. Oh, that's gone on the bacon. Oh, I didn't put any extra fry light in.
Oh, well, that's.
Oh, I've absolutely schoolboyed this. Who wants scrambled egg?
I'll go scrambled.
That is what this is going to become.
Oh no.
Oh, I've told you I shouldn't do the cooking. I'll get away with it. Bon appetit, boys. Gonna get yolk everywhere here.
Yeah.
Oh, decent though.
I definitely wouldn't want to be doing the washing up.
Some of that could have been from another meal. Well, it's been yet another disappointment. Yesterday, lovely day's fishing, 3 or 4 bites, nothing big, but off the bottom, on zigs. Got down here today expecting it to be exactly the same, and it could not be further from the truth. Probably got a couple of hours left to try and nick a bite, but if it don't happen, that's fishing. It's been a cold old winter. I've not been out very much, so sorry it's not the longest vlog that we've ever done. Hopefully the next one will be a little bit more exciting. You never know though, still time.